Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 5, Young Mistress. Have you heard? Cao Xianglashi had just competed with the academy's #1 teacher from the bottom, teacher Zhang Xuan. They competed? Then, wouldn't Zhang Xianlashi have lost for sure? Unexpectedly, that wasn't so. Zhang Xianlashi won. He casually guided a student and made his strength increase by 1-fold. Increase by 1-fold? In his first guidance. Even Lu Sunlashi wouldn't be capable of doing that. Are you for real? A lot of people witnessed it for themselves, so how could it not be real? Those who witnessed the competition in the canteen were discussing over it excitedly. For the student's strength to increase by 1-fold in the first guidance. Zhao Ya scoffed. It is definitely just luck. Biao City was the third biggest city in the Tianqian kingdom and Zhao Ya was the daughter of its city lord. From young, she had been put through top-class education and her motive for coming to Hongtian Academy was to be accepted as Lu Sun's student. However, she didn't expect to hear that Lu Sun would be inferior to Zhang Xian before she even found him. Naturally, she didn't believe such rumors. Luck? I don't think that it is luck. After all, it is an increase by an entire fold. Just luck itself won't explain it. A student sitting not too far away from her couldn't help but respond to her words. You think that it isn't luck? Don't think that I do not recognize that Zhang Xianlashi. He is the one who scored a 0 in the teacher qualification examination and almost got fired. What capabilities do you think a guy like that would possess? If you do not believe my words, I can unmask his facade right here and now. Zhao Ya had had an impatient personality since young. Upon hearing someone praise the worst teacher in the academy, she immediately bellowed. Fine. We also want to know whether the teacher is just all talk. Instantly, 2 students stood up. The 3 of them walked out of the canteen and after asking around, they found Zhang Xian's classroom. Pushing open the door, they walked in. You are Zhang Xianlashi? Walking into the classroom, they saw the young man sitting on the teacher's seat smiling foolishly to himself. No matter how they look at him, he didn't seem like an impressive teacher. In fact, they started to feel uncomfortable. That's me. After noticing the entry of a few students, Zhang Xian stopped analyzing the Library of Heaven's Path and turned over to look at them. We've heard that you have won in a competition against Cao Xianglashi and the student you guided had an increase in strength by 1-fold. Zhao Ya stated with clear disbelief in her tone. Good. Then I would like you to guide me as well, to see whether you can increase my strength by 1-fold as well. I'm not free. Zhang Xian waved them away. Teachers also have their own pride as educators. They aren't performers who would perform to the will of the audience. How could they just guide others just because they wanted them to? Besides that, what's with your attitude? It's not like I owe you something. Not free? Aren't you very idle right now? Zhao Ya could tell that the other party was just trying to shake her off. She grinned her teeth in anger. She told her friends that she would come and expose his facade, yet right now, she was being chased away without even getting a glimpse at his abilities. She felt embarrassed. I have to recruit students. I don't have the effort to fool around with an arrogant little girl. Zhang Xian said calmly. Zhao Ya was so furious that her beautiful eyes rolled around. She was the daughter of a city lord, not to mention she was blessed with good looks. No matter where she went, people looked at her with eyes of admiration. However, not only did this fellow reject her, he even said that she was fooling around. How hateful! Even if he was a teacher, this was unforgivable. What must we do for you to guide us? Grinding her jade-like teeth, Zhao Ya questioned. Acknowledge me as your teacher. Zhang Xian replied calmly, as he looked at Zhao Ya with a bizarre expression. Seeing how the other party was looking at her as though she was an idiot, Zhao Ya staggered, Fine, I will acknowledge you as my teacher. However, if you were to teach me erroneously or give me bullshit, I will expose your lies. Zhao Ya. You can't. If you were to take him as your teacher, you won't be able to become Lu Xunlashi's student. The two friends who came with her almost fainted upon hearing her acceptance of his request. They immediately tried to persuade her. Hearing the persuasion of her two friends, Zhao Ya hesitated. She was aware of the school rules. After becoming a teacher's student, if the student wanted to acknowledge another teacher, they would have to first withdraw from the lessons of their current one. However, if they were to do so, the other teacher would tend to reject the student. Not to mention, a popular teacher like Lu Xun. You don't have the guts to? If you don't dare to, just hurry up and leave. Don't hold up my business. Recruiting new students. Zhang Xuan waved her away. Who says that I do not have the guts to? She was still hesitating, but upon hearing Zhang Xuan's words, Zhao Ya immediately exploded. Her eyebrows furrowed and she said, I will acknowledge you as my teacher right now. Let's verify our relationship. Your attitude is too bad. Even you want me as your master, I don't want to accept you. Zhang Xuan waved her away yet again. It was natural to want to recruit obedient students, just like the previous Wang Ying. However, the current one seemed to be on gunpowder. Even if he lacked students, he was unwilling to admit her in. She didn't expect that when she chose to bear with acknowledging him as her teacher, he still refused to accept her. Zhao Ya could feel flames arising from her. She came here specially to expose his fraud. If she were to stomp away furiously now, wouldn't she be falling into his trap? Perhaps, this fellow was intentionally trying to chase her away, so that his fraud could not be exposed. She was adamant to not allow things go his way. I will just admit it as my fault first then. After I expose your true face, see how I will put you in place. Thinking so, Zhao Ya suppressed the rage in her heart. She smiled faintly, exposing her white teeth. Teacher, don't get angry. I was disrespectful. I sincerely wish to become your student, may I plead with you to accept me? This is more like it? Seeing her change in attitude, Zhang Xuan nodded his head. I can accept you as my student. Before that, I would like you to clean this room. I don't want to see a speck of dust here. Also, help me tidy up the washroom outside. Scrub the toilet bowls clean. Afterwards, I will check on it. If I am satisfied with your work, I will admit you in under my tutelage. Don't go too far. Zhao Ya was about to go on a rampage. What was her identity? She was the daughter of a city lord, a daughter of a noble. From young, she had never done any household chore before, and yet this fellow intended for her to sweep the room. Even, cleaning the washrooms. Scrub the toilet bowls. Was he insane? If you can't even do such superficial tasks, you can leave right now. I don't need lazy and useless students. Zhang Xuan said. He, little lass. You want to play with me? You are still much too inexperienced. Who says that I am useless? I will clean up now, I will scrub now. Zhao Ya grinds her. Grabbing a broom and mop, she starts to tidy up the room. Zhao Ya, how about we just forget about it? I don't think he is really capable. He is purposely making things hard for you. The two friends who tagged along with her, upon seeing the young mistress of a city lord starting to clean up the place, they were all horrified and quickly attempted to convince her otherwise. Both of you wait outside first. Since young, I, Zhao Ya, have never really lost before. Today, I have decided to go all out against him. Zhao Ya frowned. That. Her two friends understood Zhao Ya's temper. Seeing that she couldn't be persuaded, the both of them looked at each other, at a loss of what to do. Inform butler Yao, didn't he come as well? If the butler were to know that the fellow who scored 0 for his teacher qualification examination was ordering young mistress to scrub the toilet bowl, he would definitely stop him. After staring at each other for a moment, one of them came up with a solution. For a person of Zhao Ya's identity, even though there weren't any threats on the journey to the academy, there was still someone who escorted her. The person who escorted her was butler Yao. Presently, he should still be around the academy. All right, let's look for him now. Without any hesitation, the two of them immediately rushed out of the academy. For Zhao Ya, who had a stubborn temper just like any other daughters of rich households, even though she had never done household chores before, it didn't take her long to adapt to it. Swiftly, the interior of the room became clean. Even the washroom outside was sparkling. Not bad. Zhang Xuan nodded his head in satisfaction. You should be satisfied now. You can admit me as your student and guide my cultivation now, right? After finishing her work, Zhao Ya crushed her teeth, her jade-like face distorted as she tried to hold herself back from punching the guy in front of her. Your identity card. Disregarding the other party's murderous gaze, Zhang Xuan threw a jade token to her casually. Taking a deep breath, Zhao Ya dripped a drop of blood on it, verifying their relationship. Zhang Lishi, now that I am your student, can you give me a pointer or two? Now that she was on the verge of accomplishing her objective, revealing the true face of the despicable man before her, Zhao Ya suppressed the excitement in her heart and asked. Display a fighting technique to me first, so that I can gauge your fundamentals. Zhang Xuan beckoned. Yes. Without any nonsense, Zhao Ya clasped her hands together and bowed before executing her skills. Hoo 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 hoo. The wind howled. Her blow was full of might. As a female as well, her blows were much faster and stronger than Wang Ying. With a single look, it was apparent that she put quite a bit of effort into her training. While looking at Zhao Ya execute her skill, Zhang Xuan's mind was currently in the library. As expected, with a light tremor, a book fell from the shelves. The two words Zhao Ya were written on the cover. Zhao Ya, the daughter of the city lord of Biu City. Fighter 1 Danjuxi Realm Pinnacle. Cultivation technique, White Jade Pure Maiden Skill. Weakness, 27 flaws. Number 1, her personality is rash and she is easily angered. This goes against the White Jade skill's nature of calmness and smoothness, so she is unable to bring out its full strength. No 2. The book was just like what he saw previously. It recorded all of the flaws and deficiencies in Zhao Ya's cultivation. Peng. 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 After a short moment, Zhao Ya completed the entire punch routine. Clenching her feminine hands, she turned around and sent a blow towards the rock pillar in the classroom that was used for measuring the strength of one's blow. A crisp sound. A set of number appeared on it. 110. Not bad, not bad. Zhang Xuan couldn't help but nod his head. To be capable of wielding such strength in her fist before coming to the academy, Zhao Ya was indeed the daughter of a city lord, holding extraordinary strength. All right, give me some pointers. After executing her skill, her face didn't turn red nor did she gasp for breath. Zhao Ya turned to look at Zhang Xuan.